Hey guys, it's Tarkin coming at you with another game of hardcore Minecraft. We're here on day 790, a seed for the boss Geode as we get underway. Now, I'm just messing around a bit today. Let's say hello to Mr. Pump. What a good golem he is. What we're gonna do is just, do I even have any gemstones for the waterfall? Man, I really jumped the gun. I guess we could go find some. No, here they are. I'm like, I thought I had some, yeah. Got some emerald ores and deep slate diamonds. That'll be nice. We'll take, you know, some amethyst. Not too much, you know. The whole point of the waterfall is that it's varied. Not the nether golden ore, that's not cool enough. Not the gilded blackstone, again, it's not ritzy enough. We gotta have the real good stuff for the waterfall. It's been a little while since I played here. I'm playing on my my friend's Bedrock Realm, mainly, as of late. You can tell because I'm not immediately putting my elytra on. I'm so used to running around. See, the thing about the amethyst is it's so cheap, right? Although it does look nice. You don't want to get too busy with it, though. You gotta maintain your pride. In your decorations. Is that a good place for it? I mean, it's fine. It's deep slate, which clashes a little bit, but not so much as that you'd notice. We should make this room more lush cavey, right? Yes, right is right. Also, we're gonna have to go and fight an enemy most foul. Which way did he go? Here we go. We need to make an artificial geode, like, over there, right? Do we have enough calcite for that? We should mend up real quick. The dreamer plying his trade. He finally got a job. You know, we weren't gonna make him get one, you know. All in due time, right? And we'll just mend up here before too long. Just gotta keep moving, of course. You never... I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just put the elytra on then? There we go. This way, even if we get cooked, we've got the offhand. No. I just tell myself that I'll never ever get hurt badly doing this, and it's always been true, right? It's not a smart way to do things. But, hey, the elytra's mended, so what are you gonna do, right? Argue with success? I'm not. Give Hank the good old steak. Alright, do we have calcite? That was the question. And where would we keep it if we did? We do have some calcite. Good. Any more of it? I mean, probably not much, right? Should be enough to get started. You could also do, like, quartz, but, I mean, it'd be better to just go get more calcite. The closer it looks to being authentic, the better, right? You know, it definitely doesn't need to be deep in there, but it does look cooler when we know it's that way. How, you might ask? How does it look cooler? Well, it doesn't. It's still a good place to keep amethysts, and if I ever need some more, I'll know that this is where I kept it. Here in my miraculous fake geode. Like, how's this even gonna look? Probably not great. It'll be alright. Well, first things first, we're just gonna go down here and go to sleep in a bed underwater, as is tradition. It's just a thing you can do. I recommend it. Makes you look young. Alright. Okay, so it looks like trash. Maybe we should finally fix the flow of the lake. But it's just too high over here, isn't it? So maybe we should... it's work, isn't it? No, we can do it later. Let's just work on this. This geode looks terrible geode for the moment. Not like that. A little bit of a sense of depth. Maybe. Yeah. Actually, I think that's a lot better. It's not perfect. But you know what? I actually kind of like it. It's probably going to scan really well from far away, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That's perfect, actually. You have to get a little close to see that it's even messed up. And really, it's just the water flow. We could just raise the whole lake. We could just drop that side of the lake. The lake being a regular height would be good. Do we want to just start working on it? Yeah, why not? Let's go get some dirt. Alright, so what we want to do here is drop all of this at least a block, maybe two. Like, this is where all the turtles were born. It feels wrong to get rid of this place being higher, but if we just have this higher than the rest of it and it goes down there, that's fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and restore. Good enough. All right. Whoopsie-daisy. This actually runs the risk of being a problem if the water sourcing that we push around a little bit goes on top of the kelp, but we can fix that. Right? It's not like me making a bad water placement has ever come back to bite me over a period of lengthy time. What would that even look like? Like an artificial lake with an uneven water pattern? Ridiculous. Nobody would do that. They'd have more pride. They wouldn't just leave it there for ages. Probably. I think this here was where we had said the original line needed to be. To bring it at a level with the river over there. Because that's... We need... Whatever the other sources is, we need this to be a flat level with the rest of the river here as it goes in, right? For, you know, what I can only describe as reasons. What we're doing here is just building up this area so that when we do equalize it over, we'll just have a smaller, isolated place where the turtles can have, you know, their traditional beach without it interrupting the flow of all the other water. The lake again. This is my favorite project I've ever done in Minecraft. I like the lake even more than the wheat. You know, just wheat's more fun. But I love the lake project because I figured it out on my own, you know. From the kelp to every other thing. You know. And every time I reflect that, you know, before I started there's no lake at all, like it's awesome. Of all the little work I've done in a Minecraft world, my lake and my river are what I am proudest of for certain. Not because they look natural, they don't really, but because they're large enough in scale to where you wouldn't assume, you know, that... I just tried to go to spectator mode to look. Can't debug switch in this. You know, it at least looks like maybe there was something there before. Maybe not that much like there was. It's really be better if we had this whole pool area here and then we could sand over the top and then have it go into the lake here and then level it out everywhere else. Seems fine. The fact that there's no logical way for this to be the source of the water, totally irrelevant. And in fact, unlikely to ever be noticed, so. Whoops. We can just drop these, right? Good idea, bad placement. Just bring sand up and that'll, we can do that on the top layer and make it look much better. I hate to leave this project in the middle. And yet, what's the alternative? I don't have long enough to play to do it all. Well, you know, that was sort of like making progress. So we can... No. If we work a little harder, just a little harder, then it'll definitely be the same as making progress, right? Yeah. Alright, and then later we can just replace that with sand. And by later, I mean like someday, maybe the next time we play, maybe not. Kinda looks not perfect, but you know. The lake's already clearly better for being almost better. Yeah, we just need more sand there. That's all we need. Should we go get some? I mean, we probably have some somewhere. Ow. There we go, there's some sand. I knew I would find it. to be careful not to leave any shelves. You know, a turtle likes to get stuck on a shelf. Come on, let me get out of the water. There we go. It actually looks a lot better, even from this distance. The geode almost scans, and the Turtle Beach, once we get it set up there, yeah, we'll level out the rest of the lake. It'll be better to have that big sandstone sort of block there, and then, of course, also, you know, it honors the birthplace of the Ninja Turtles. Very important stuff. Alright, wonderful. Well, let's just say goodnight to the crew then. I fell into my own defenses. Sure are a lot of enemies right there, huh? Sometimes it's like you can't sleep, there are monsters nearby. I have literally like laid down while a skeleton was shooting over me before. The game's just got very broad standards, right? Baby Moosh. Mooshy Smalls. They are, of course, together. A songwriting and rapping duo. Bringing hip-hop stylings to the modern world. The Mooshes. Here's Doug. We all know Doug. We all love Doug. Good old Doug. Doug was, of course, named by the legendary viewer Sid of the fine fan art. Fine with like a capital F, not with like a fine, like it's very fine, you know. Very, very excellent indeed, I mean to say. Haven't seen Sid in a bit, but I hope they're well. It's a funny thing about doing this, right? You know, you get to know people, especially on a smaller scale like this channel. You know, it's still very easy to remember everybody that I talk to somewhat regularly. And you know, you go from seeing people all the time, and then sometimes you see them rarely, and sometimes you don't see them at all anymore. And you know, that's all part of it, because you know it's a big internet, and I want people to have the most fun they can have out there. But good old Luca. And we put our seeds into the box, which means we need to go to the box to get our seeds for Garuda before he gives us the old eye that says, "Who do you think the boss of this family is?" It's Garuda. He's the boss. Anyway, good little time. Worked on the waterfall some. I actually, the work we did on the lake is immediately visible and actually looks solid because that sandbar being there is a lot better of a contrast to the water than the random dirt that was there. And it'll take a little bit of effort to smooth out the water, but I think the visual of the still surface will be worth it, And the pride of doing the job better, that'll be worth it too. But that's about all we've got for you for right now. So I invite you to sit, stand, or kneel for the playing of the national anthem, Pick Step by Lena Rain. Luca will dance. Bella sits wisely, consigliere. Geode criticizes calcite. Atropa, the blade in the dark, played for like 700 days until she showed back up. But a nice little time. Been playing on the Bedrock realm more, which is fun. It's fun playing on a place where my friends are around, but definitely miss Java and my nice little world here. But I have been thinking of doing a little more modded play, because I've done zero modding at all on Java. There's a couple of mods in my friends' Bedrock realm that were interesting. That'll do for right now. Day 792. It's easy to get a lot of days when all you do is mess around like me. But I actually think that crummy little geode looks good. I really do. Like, did I just get rid of my my spyglass? I don't know where it is. Well, it can't be that important. But anyway, yeah, it's nice. It actually, the geode looks like it's always been there. It almost looks like it's supposed to be there. And in the distance, we see that I actually, with that water flow, it just grew a whole bunch of kelp. So, it might spread out across the whole thing. We'll work on it. But that is a problem for another day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you've enjoyed this silly little game of Minecraft. Up there in the sky, my trademark bad floating islands. Maybe one day I'll learn to make them in a way that looks good. But anyway, that day is not today. I'm going to go ahead and call it. But thank you guys so much, and maybe I'll see you in a later stream or video.